Okay, let's be honest. Size is a huge deal in this world. Supersize this, venti that. I don't just want a gulp, I want a huge gulp. The truth is, size, from a historic point of view, was kinda all over the place. Decades ago, dimensions were improvised until size became standardized. A 40-watt bulb, a medium shirt, a 2x4. Be it bottles or boots, mass production requires standardization of sizing.
Once you've created a way to standardize shoe sizes, clothing sizes, and enter a market, the market then changes because there's an opportunity that's awoken within it.
Marc Greuther, chief curator of the Henry Ford, and I sat down to discuss why, when it comes to innovation, a semblance of sizing makes sense. Was the standardization of sizing more about the producer or the consumer, or both?
I think it's really about both. Consumers are looking for convenience, they're looking for predictability. Producers, sellers, obviously they're looking for sales, but they're also looking for efficiencies based on scale and production.
I was in a store, I saw this shirt, I liked it. There were 4 sizes. I picked the M, the medium. I take that whole process for granted.
Right.
It wasn't always that way.
Not at all. I mean, you're probably looking at the military. You know, where you're looking to outfit large numbers of people consistently, that's where you start to see a regulation on stores and trying to come up with a level of predictability that can then play out in reality.
And this is generally in the 19th century?
Yep.
While standardized sizing may have begun with uniform clothing for the military, it ultimately permeated almost every category of goods. When you're constructing a house, when you're wiring it for electricity, I imagine that standardization made things a lot safer.
Well, absolutely. It's another one of those subjects where once you start thinking about the level of standardization or the types of standardization, you literally disappear down this wormhole.
Confession, I'm not quite sure what a 2x4 means. Does it mean 2 inches by 4 inches?
Well, it's more like 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches, but it's 2x4 is the common sort of yardstick, for want of a better term used to describe it.
Sounds great.
It does sound 2x4 is far easier to say than 1.5 by 3.5 after all.
Could you have mass production without standardization?
Not really, because what you're going for is volume in terms of production.
The assembly line is essentially saying, okay, folks, we're all getting on the same page.
Right, exactly that. And you might all end up with a car that's the same color, you know, with the same options, if you will. A lot of this does come down to predictability, trying to maintain control over a system.
I suppose every single commodity falls in a range, from outright standardization to the beautifully bespoke, and every nuanced thing in between.